Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the ARK Podcast number 12. Today is Saturday, November the 12th. My name's Brad, and I'm here with the rest of the team. Yesterday, we had our public pre-sale first round, which was a huge success. Now we are gearing up for round 2, which starts next Friday, the 18th of November. With us, as always, your host, our inspirational leader, Atlas. Great to have you here, sir. The floor is yours.
Thanks for that great introduction, Brad, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition, the 12th podcast. I'm Atlas, and we are here at ARK. We have a couple of great folks here that are joining us this evening. Some other ones will be joining us as the bot continues to add them in. We want to welcome all of you. And yesterday was actually an incredible day for us. The demand for the public round 1 was sold out in less than 2 minutes. And that's with a minimum of only 2 NFTs per wallet that was allowed to be purchased. So I think the community has spoken. They have shown their support, their interest, and their commitment to the ARK. As we all understand that all of the private sale, public sale, any tokens, even the team and advisor tokens, are all going to be deposited directly into the ARK vault. We do not have to worry of any whale or any pre-sale investor, whitelist investor in the private round. Anyone really having allocations of ARK in their wallet and being able to dump on all of our community. And I think that's something that was vital, important, because I could tell you from my experience as an investor, I've been dumped on time and time again by that little 1% of friends of the dev and this other dude and the YouTuber, and you know the deal, guys. Come on, you know how it goes, and that's not something that we here at ARK want to entertain. That's not how we want to do business. That's not how we want to invest. This is a long-term project, ladies and gentlemen, and it's important that we are all under the same set of rules. That there is no, advantage for any of these people, and that if they want to come and invest with us, we are here ready with open arms, understanding that the contracts have been put together and the whole system has really been designed to ensure a sustainable long-term investment, that we're all pretty much on the same boat, as they say. So guys, we're thrilled. We're looking forward to Friday next week. 900 NFTs, 1 per wallet. Let's see how that goes. I mean, ideally, we want to, create an opportunity for as many folks, diverse folks, not just one team or 2 teams or 5. We want the little guy that heard about ARK, or that's going to be hearing about ARK this week, to have an opportunity. Anyone that didn't get a chance yesterday, that didn't expect that it would be sold out in 2 minutes, we want those folks to come back on Friday and pick up their NFT. And after that, we'll have another round, and it's going to be 800 NFTs. And that's going to be a limit also of 1 NFT per wallet. So very important that we all understand that, the why, how that helps us to diversify and bring as many investors from different communities all together here before we have our fantastic launch on December 2nd. So also another thing I wanted to point out for you guys, we had a fantastic podcast yesterday evening. We had Mr. Patrick from the Cryptozoa crew, an impressive set of investors, huge, massive army of guys that really have upped their game, becoming writers and putting out great material on Medium, particularly on how to invest into ROI dApps, what passive income is about. And, I personally was taken aback because this man has really made some positive changes in the lives of a lot of these folks in his community. So if you haven't, heard that recording from the podcast number 11, and you want to learn a little bit more about Patrick, CryptoSoa team and his personal experience. He shared some testimony of folks that had joined CryptoZoa and really became great writers and great investors and built great teams and communities, and how so many of them were able to get out of the whole wage slavery. We're here for a purpose, guys, and it is to grow as investors, to meet our financial goals and hopefully exceed them and thrive as investors. And with everything that's going around, the crypto winter is a term that's been used before in crypto, but now they're even talking about the crypto ice age. And I think that the ARK was built to really find that safe haven, that sustainable investment, that you don't have to worry what's happening with the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum, Solana. You don't have to be looking at a chart. We have our own token. We're paired to BUSD, Coinbase, and FTX, and all of these exchanges are really giving a lot of fears to having your funds, having your crypto on them. We believe that really you should be in DeFi wallets. Shield yourself from the possibility of the whole house of cards situation happening. And that's part of why we chose the name ARK. We want a safe passage. We want to keep investors afloat with a steady rate of return. 2% a day is massive, guys. And, with our dynamic liquidity controller in place, making sure that, we're not going to have, a huge, crazy pump and then, a dump that's happening after. And folks are seeing those red candles and just freaking out, thinking that it's the end of the world, right? It's, instead of understanding that's generally your time to, TCA and buy. So the liquidity control is going to really, bring a lot of stability, smooth sailing for our price stability, where investors can really sit back and enjoy of not having that pump and dump, sort of effect on the chart, and understanding that the long-term sustainability and then price stability in particular is going to make folks feel calm, cool, collected, and happy to be able to easily understand what the rate of return is. Of course, there's a lot of upside to going through the roof with your price. However, I think we've all who've been investing in this space for a while understand that every pump has a sell-off, and if we can control that, then I think that we're able to really satisfy the investment criteria for folks that are really looking not for a 1 month or 6 month or 1 year investment, but a multi-year strategy, which is really, guys, where the big bucks start to pile in and start to build up. We see Mr. Brett Norden. Hello, sir. Welcome to the podcast tonight. I know you've had a busy day working here with the dev team, and also with your family, your kids doing sports today. You've been extremely busy. Would you like to step up and talk to us a little bit? Say hello.
Hey, yeah, we're just finishing up dinner. I thought I'd jump on for a few minutes and see how everybody's doing. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Yeah, busy. Typical American life, I guess. Sports and kids and family and dinners and all that fun stuff. And then, of course, little ARK here and there. So but we came up with some really cool stuff today, and great discussions. The devs are super engaged, which is great to see. Just in everything, everybody's working on Saturdays and late nights up till past midnight, 2-3 in the morning. So yeah, they're crushing it. It's awesome.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you're doing here. And it's no secret. We are very clear in understanding that the community really has stepped up and spoken and shown their interest for ARK and everything that's taking place here and being developed. That selling out in 2 minutes yesterday was something I think very powerful, a very powerful message when investors come and they're tripping over each other to come and purchase those NFTs, even with a limit of 2 and a supply of 1,000 NFTs, with a cap of 2 per, wallet. and it sells in 2 minutes, completely sold out. I mean, I can't foresee a stronger, message being sent here to the team that there is absolutely a fantastic interest happening in what we're doing here. They see the difference. They understand the quality of the work and really our long journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's great to see too is we're starting to get, the resident experts are stepping up in the ARK chat and really helping out other community members try to understand all the different mechanisms, the white paper, all that kind of stuff. And I just rolled out a quick announcement, and Catalyst, he's on Patrick's team. He's one of the admins for their Medium platform. He's an editor, and I think he manages everything there. Maybe he can speak to that in a little bit, but he helped me rewrite something in the white paper, which is pretty cool. So what we're doing is we're going to require all purchases of ARK to be automatically deposited in the ARK vault. And the way we can do this is because we basically control the liquidity pool. There's no third-party DEX where you can purchase it. You have to purchase on our swap page. And that's due to the liquidity controller. So if you're familiar with Furio, they have a very similar setup. But what this allows us to do is take ARK off the, ARK in the wild will not be a thing. You won't be able to hold it in wallets that didn't participate in the ARK vault. So once you purchase it, it'll be deposited in the ARK vault, and then you'll have to earn it back out and withdraw it to your wallet before you can, sell it or deposit it back into the ARK vault, as like some people want to follow a redeposit strategy to keep their NDV positive, or you can sell it, and there's a sell cap up to 200 ARK per day, which you probably won't reach right away, but further down the road, as your principal balance grows, your rewards are going to grow. So you may run into that cap, down the road as the wallet matures. But yeah, we're really trying to control the opportunities people might have to try to dump ARK on the market. And we kind of stepped things up because we saw we have a responsibility for that with the really increased interest in the project. We see, different players coming from different platforms. And we realize that, not all of them will want to try to play the same game that we want them to play. So we're putting those controls in place to make sure that we protect the community, protect the platform, and make this as sustainable as we think it can be.
Wow, that is a huge update, ladies and gentlemen. Brett, that's fantastic. So if I wanted to understand this, better for our investors here, what you're saying is that folks will be able to purchase ARK token, but it will be directly to the vault. At no point will they be able to subtract and transfer out ARK token to their wallets, right?
Yeah. So yes, correct. So they would only be able to earn it out at that 2% reward rate per day, and so it would go into their available balance, and then they would withdraw it to their wallet. Now, once it's in their wallet, they could transfer it to another wallet. There's a transfer tax. But if that wallet doesn't have an ARK Vault account, then they would be subject to the 50% dump tax. So there's really, what we're trying to do is really create, the scarcity for the token and keep it locked up in our tax vault or in our foundation liquidity pools to be able to, keep our liquidity controller and price stable. So that's the whole goal of this, is to create that loop. Instead of allowing people to hold, really, really big wallets of ARK in out in the wild, if you want to call it that, what that does is it takes tokens away from the tax vault, and then you mint earlier, or you just don't have enough liquidity to supply the liquidity controller when you need it, and then you would end up minting as well. So there's a good reason for it, and it also protects the ability from someone later on being able to dump those tokens onto the market and affect the price, and then create a stressful situation for the liquidity controller that way. So yeah, with that one change, we've kind of killed a few different birds.
That's brilliant. That's really brilliant. So folks are pretty much taking BUSD out into their wallets instead of ARK.
No, it won't be an automatic swap for BUSD. We'll still allow them to hold it in their wallet, and they can sell it. And there's a sell cap of up to 200, but that would have had to have come from their ARK Vault account. So there's no way that they can buy it and then hold it in their wallet and wait for the price appreciation or something like that, and then try to dump it later.
Fantastic. I love it.
There's no real incentive to hold it in their wallet, because with the liquidity controller, you're not going to see, huge price swings. So, they're either holding it and it's, potential liability in their mind, or they have a use case for it. They can put it in the foundation and earn that, that BUSD reward from that liquidity pool, or they can redeposit it back into their ARK Vault account, and then they could, make their NDV positive longer. The other option is they could transfer it to a different wallet and deposit into the ARK Vault, but that would be subject to a 10% transfer tax. But, instead of purchasing again and then depositing into an ARK Vault, they could do that too. So really, it just points everything back to our system in one way, shape, or form, and then doesn't allow people to really stack and sell in large quantities. They could still sell 200 in a 24-hour period, but from a systemic standpoint, that's not going to be something that we're as concerned about.
Brilliant. Beautiful. And we're going to get to questions on that, but did you want to introduce Catalyst and have him share a little bit about what you guys were doing today and going forward as well?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's available to talk, but we went back and forth on the DMs a little bit yesterday. I know he got an article out that we posted in the group chat, and then he just mentioned that he was on Patrick's team, and he's also the lead editor, or one of the editors there at the Cryptozoa Medium channel. So I guess he's been doing that for quite a while. He's been with Patrick since the beginning. So yeah, it'd be interesting to hear from him if he's available.
Yeah, I'm here. Hey guys, Atlas, Brett, good to be here.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Good. I guess evening where you are. I'm on the West Coast. It's 3:30 here.
Oh, beautiful weather. I hope over there. Yeah, we have 11:30 p.m. But we're used to working late hours, so it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I love that. I was listening to the chat yesterday with Patrick. As Brad mentioned, yeah, I'm on Team Cryptozoa. I'm one of the early members. I had been following Patrick's Medium writings for quite a while. This was pre-drip days, and was a big fan of his. We didn't know each other personally, but I was just one of his readers. And then when drip came along and he started building a team and started writing, he reached out to me. This would have been last July, a year ago, July. But he asked me if I wanted to become an editor. I think it started with me editing some of his pieces, just kind of without him asking. I would just note, hey, you have a typo here, or you have, I think you misspoke here or something, which, by the way, doesn't happen very often. He's an excellent writer. And then he said, well, would you just want to become an editor? And then that led into, he said, well, why don't you start writing? He gave me a couple ideas because he was starting to get pretty swamped with building his drip team. And as luck would have it, again, he didn't know anything about me, but I'm actually, in a previous life, I'm a technical writer for user manuals for software. That's what I used to do. But so I have a pretty long history of writing, especially technical writing. And I think he recognized that. And then it enabled me to start building my team, just as he had built his team through Medium articles. I was able to build mine. And then we branched out and we just suggested it to pretty much anybody on Team Cryptozoa. Patrick, as he mentioned yesterday in your chat, he offered his publication, which had, oh my gosh, I guess over 3,000 subscribers. He was just offering up, if anyone wanted to write an article, he would allow them to publish it on his publication, and then they would automatically have a subscriber base to read their articles. So I don't want to repeat too much that went down in yesterday's chat with you guys, but as Patrick said, many people on his team have been successful at building their own teams through Medium articles. So
yeah, we would like you guys to come and educate us and help our investors really, be able to learn and become great writers. And we had a chat today, me and him on the text, but we've asked him also to become an advisor here, official advisor of ARK and a project, and help us to mold, the clay as we're getting closer to the December 2nd launch. And the reputation of you guys is superb. It's an honor and a pleasure. We had a great conversation last night here in the podcast, and you can bring so much experience and education to everyone here. I mean, someone like Brad that has excelled at going, and bringing folks to us that had never even touched crypto, and taking the time and showing how to use MetaMask and open an account to buy crypto. That's one thing, but when it comes to writing and the skills that you guys have, I can only imagine how far he can grow, and the network and everything. So it's really a blessing and an honor. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much. But it's just one thing I do want to say to the listeners: don't put too much emphasis on the writing aspect or the technical writing. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is we had a lot of people that we had to kind of encourage to write, because everyone would, I don't know how many times we heard, "Oh, I'm not a writer, I could never write." And now these people, a year and a half later, they have, multiple articles up on Medium. So the message I'm trying to get across is, don't be afraid to write an article, and it doesn't have to be technical in nature. Many of our team members simply write about their experience. So, as you delve into ARK and you start using it and you start seeing, you get familiar with it, and eventually, as it starts to change your lives, those are really good things to write about. How has ARK and the project, affected you or changed your life? Those are really good topics for articles as well. It doesn't have to be technical in nature.
Yeah, that's how me and Brett met, because he came into our phase 1 as an investor, and he wrote a Medium article, and I was blown away by it. I mean, you heard yesterday the podcast, so that really stood out to me, and I said, hey, our guys here, they could really take a lot of inspiration from here, from what he put together of our project, and we encourage them. So that's how we started our dialogue and conversation. And I mean, look where fate took us to have him come on board officially on the team and put so much effort. His engineering background, his love of passive income and investing, and I think really creating a masterpiece of sustainability for the long term, and just evening the playing field for everyone. Whether you're a small investor, and especially an investor that's new or very experienced, and you have a lot to manage. All of us being under the same guidelines and rules, and every detail's been really thought well, and we're still improving, and we're still working hard behind the scenes. And when we find something that could be fine-tuned and upgraded, we're doing that. So anything that you see also, I've told Patrick that we're almost done, but we're at a phase where any tweaks could really come to the table. So we're open to that. Also hear folks in the community have come and asked us questions that even our coders haven't thought about, or ourselves, according to like their strategy. And we've had to go to the back and say, well, look, do we allow this? Can they transfer, 20 NFTs into one wallet. This is, what's good about it, what's bad about it, and taking the time to analyze, and always having the same goal of sustainability, fairness at heart. It's really important. So we're happy to have you here, man, and to be able to partake. Thank you for coming to the podcast this evening. How have you received ARK and your time understanding the white paper? How's that experience been?
Oh, it's very well written. It's very easy to understand. I mean, I'm in a number of projects, so I mean, I'm not going to say I'm an expert with DeFi, but I'm in probably all the ones that get talked about on the chat, the big ones. So I guess in answer to your question, it's I'm very impressed with it. I'm impressed with the materials, the marketing. I'm impressed that you had Kelly Snook on. She's part of Team Cryptozoa the other day. And of course, Patrick, and and like you guys mentioned, there's just a lot of well-known names. I don't personally know the names. I just know them from various Telegram chat groups, and just know them by reputation. Speaking of, this is a little bit off topic, but getting to personally know the names. I don't know if Patrick mentioned it, but we had our first Cryptozoa meetup, and we have members from around the world, but he held a meetup in Colorado this summer in July.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
How many folks made a trip over and were able to meet in person?
There were about 24, but I mean, one guy came from the UK, and it was mostly people from the US, from North America, but we're going to make it a regular thing and have it once a year. Because Patrick's team, literally, he's probably got close to 1,000 people on his team or more on his drip teams. He has a team for each of the major DeFi projects, and we have a Medium page for each of, a Telegram, a private Cryptozoa Telegram channel for each one of the DeFi projects. And like Brett mentioned, Patrick just made me admin of the ARK one, so I'm going to be getting to know ARK inside and out, being an admin for our private Cryptozoa ARK channel.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I like that, the meetup, and that would be something that maybe in a year's time from now we would like to do. And I think to make it proper, right, we should go on a cruise. Invite everybody in, get on board the ARK. Maybe we could how they wrap the cars with that wrapping paper. Sure. We could wrap the cruise ship with the ARK branding.
I think I saw somebody mentioned taking a cruise, like a group cruise. I'm not sure if it was on the ARK channel or maybe the Trip channel, but lots of things to do. The meetups are great. Just to get to know, put a face with the name, if nothing else. But it was a weekend long thing in Colorado, in Keystone, Colorado, at a resort. So there was a lot of things to do. There was an itinerary of meetings, and there was a brunch and a dinner and things like that. But it's sure to expand, for sure. But lots to do.
It sounds like it's going to become a yearly tradition for you guys, and being part of the family here at ARK. Hopefully we could participate and vice versa. So thank you for becoming avid in that group, and we welcome you with open arms, and anything that you need from us, you have direct channel to us, just like every investor here. But we really want to take the opportunity to make sure that you guys have all questions answered, as well as folks in here that want to tap into the Cryptozoa team. Feel free to get involved with you guys. I encourage that. You guys are so professional in everything that you do that it could really elevate, the level of communication and how they could grow their network. And I've always said, if you want to be successful, model your actions and even your time after folks that have proven that what they're doing is working, it is successful, and you're halfway there, because it takes time to figure things out. A lot of mistakes that you have to learn from to perfect a craft or a skill. And the experience that you guys have is just being able to tap into a source of proven track record, and that really facilitates things. It speeds things up, and it's a great opportunity, I think, for our investor community.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again. It's a pleasure being here, and I'll definitely hit you up if I have any questions.
Thank you so much, Catalyst.
Yeah, thanks for your help. I gotta charge my computer a little more, and then I'm gonna update the white paper based on what you sent me. That was perfect. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, sure. My pleasure. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
And a round of applause for that help, man. Thank you. Oh, we're off to a great start tonight. And let's open it up for some questions from the folks that are here with us this evening. If you'd like to ask us anything, please feel free to unmute your mic and have a conversation with us.
Hello?
Mr. Nato, good evening.
Hey,
you had a question before the podcast started. So step right on up, man. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to wait because I wanted to give others a chance too. So that's why I didn't chime in. But yeah, one thing that's relevant to the strategy is understanding the point at which you mentioned that, okay, so a plan for a wallet would be to have like a 1.3 CWR and keep obviously net positive. My understanding was that as you did the auto compounder and just continued with that, let's say for X number of weeks or whatever, then you would stay net positive because you're following the automatic compounder, right? And you're keeping the CWR above the threshold. So the question becomes, how would you dip below that? Would there be some time point in the future you dip below that? I was told there is, and I have an idea why, but I wanted to just double check with you.
Yeah, so the NDV calculation is separate from the CWR. The CWR is based on the actions or behaviors. So even if you're on the auto allocation, it's still following a schedule where your NDV will decay over time because you are withdrawing. So that 1.33, you're compounding slightly more than you are withdrawing, but you are withdrawing, so that will be a negative towards your NDV. And so we'll catch up. So if you're not taking those profits and redepositing them or making fresh capital deposits or getting referral rewards, eventually your NDV will go negative and you will fall to the 1% level. Now you can recover that back to the 2% by making deposits, getting referral rewards. But if you don't, then you will stay at 1%, which is fine. You've had a head start. You've compounded more frequently in the beginning. So your principal balance is higher and your daily reward payout should be, substantially higher from when you started. So the 2% is a great head start. It takes a smaller wallet, grows it faster. It's a huge payout, obviously. But, if you're not putting more liquidity into it, or you're not working in the background to get more people on board, it will eventually drop you down to the 1% level.
Yeah, so I hear what you said, but I didn't wrap my head around yet. I'm a bit slower right now. But if I'm rolling 4 times in a week, but pulling 3 times with the scheduler, why would that get my NDV negative in the future?
So compounds aren't positive. Like if you're familiar with drip, which I think you are, compounds are positive. In our system, compounds are neutral, so they don't count positively towards your NDV. But what they do allow you to do is compound more frequently versus withdrawing less frequently. Sorry. So your NDV will remain positive longer. If you do have a legacy NFT, for example, you can raise your compounding level, and it won't negatively affect your NDV. So essentially, by compounding more often, you're just staying off that decay of your NDV quite a bit longer than if you were following a more aggressive withdrawal schedule, like a 0.75, for example. You're withdrawing more than you're compounding. So your NDV will drop faster to a negative point where you would drop to the 1%.
Okay, so that really clarifies it, because it's different from other and calculation, right?
Exactly.
Whereas,
exactly.
So
Yep.
because compounds are neutral, that's I mean, that's a hit, I mean, of understanding. So what does it start with? What does the NDV start with? It depends on your deposit, or?
No, your NDV starts neutral. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So your initial,
No.
I'm sorry, I meant your CWR. Sorry. Your CWR starts at 1.0, but your NDV starts on, based on your your deposit after tax. And then if you deposit as you go, like if you're DCAing in or you're redepositing ARK profits, then that's going to sustain that positive NDV longer.
Okay, that it makes sense for based on this new rule, which is different from say drip. Then you would be net. It's 10%, right? Tax on deposit.
Correct.
Okay, so whatever you have an ARK in your wallet that you want to, well, it'll for pre-sellers it'll automatically go. Will I be subject to the 10% for when I claim my vault holdings? Will I be whatever I had in pre-sale minus 10%, or will it be the whole thing?
Correct. No, it'll take the 10% tax when it's deposited into the vault from the pre-sale NFT.
Okay, so everything I have will be net already deducted in the vault. So then that will establish my NDV for each wallet. And then as I'm pulling through this auto, excuse me, I just keep messing the name controller.
That's okay.
Auto controller. Then that compounder. Then eventually, as I'm pulling, I would go with the highest CWR for, let's say, no NFT, without an NFT, and then eventually it'll keep dropping my NDV and ongoing until crossover point would take me negative, and then I would drop to 1% unless I redeposited something and then kept rolling, kept giving me more runway, right?
Correct. Yep. And if and that's one of the points of, I think people they focus on the legacy NFT as a CWR. I can stay 2% forever, and that's not true either. All it does is it allows you to compound more often versus withdrawing. So it does keep your NDV positive longer, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're not going to drop to 1% at one point. But you'd have to, use Kelly's calculator or something to calculate out how far that NDV will last. But I think what's important is that you have that strategy figured out kind of up front, so that you're pulling some level of rewards. And we talked about this, I think we've covered it a couple times, but you want to get those rewards out before you start hitting those upper level tax tiers, to make sure that you end up getting your 27,500 or so tokens net out of each wallet. If you wait too long to the 8th, 9th, 10th tax tier, you will be disappointed, and we don't want that to happen. So.
Okay, and it's really, how long approximately on a 1.3? Do you happen to know? Would it take to get to the negative?
No, I kind of knew just like a 1.1, like with no deposit, no redeposits or no fresh capital coming in, no referral rewards, a 1-to-1 would last 71 days. So like 2.5 months, somewhere in there.
And
so if you did that's 1.33, it'll go a little bit longer, like, maybe 2.5 to 3 months, and I'm not sure on the exact calculation.
Right.
And that doesn't matter on the deposit level either.
Doesn't matter what deposit you have, because it's a percentage of how you CWR over time, right?
Exactly. Yeah, because you're getting the same 2% every day. It's just on your rewards are higher, if you make a larger deposit up front, so you'll go faster in that wallet. But the NDV decay won't happen any faster or slower based on the initial deposit that you make.
So would you suggest, and again, I know it's not advice, but just general kind of idea, to either let it ride at this CWR that you automate, and then eventually you hit that crop point where, shoot, my NDV is coming down, so I want to add more, another deposit, or built into your long-term strategy where if you're doing a 4-3 schedule, have like weekly where one of those withdrawals redeposits, so that you keep adding more runway over time. I'm not sure which is better. Is that something you think is
I think
interesting?
it depends. Yeah, I think it depends on what your goal is with the investment, and setting that goal to how much passive income that you want to be retrieving from the system in a certain period of time. And that's where Kelly Snook's best practices document really comes in. I think it gives you a perspective on those different strategies and which one might be best based on your personal situation. If you're trying to replace job income, then you might need to go a little heavier on your initial deposits, grow more wallets, try to boost them up a little quicker, because in 3 months the market's going to change, you're going to lose your job, or you want to be traveling for the rest of your life in a few months or 6 months or 9 months, whatever that goal might be. So walking yourself through that, that personal exercise based on your personal situation, how much capital you have to invest, what your target income goals would be, where you think the price of ARK might be in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, whatever that might be, and running those scenarios to see where you end up. That'll probably give you a good idea of what your strategy should be. If you need to go faster, then obviously you'd want to have larger wallets to begin with, and maybe even invest in a legacy NFT if you can't afford it. If you can't and you need to go slower and you have longer term visions, you're not worried about, let's say you have a high paying job now, you're not worried, you have good job security, you have all your bills paid, whatever it might be, then you can maybe go, slower, and that becomes a retirement vehicle for you. So yeah, it's really hard to, and I'm not a financial advisor that way either. Like I wouldn't have a plan for you if you and I sat down together and you walked me through everything. I wouldn't be able to give you a plan anyway, but that's kind of where I would start, is with Kelly's document, the best practices document in the white paper, and then see what fits for you, your budget, and what your goals are. Paying off your debt, replacing your income, maybe just have some play money so you can go on vacation in a few years, whatever that might be. So yeah, that's where I would start, and then build the strategy around that. And she also walks through those various strategies along with the calculator. Then you can start getting into the numbers.
Yeah, so thanks for all that. I mean, yeah, for sure, review the different options and think about it. But maybe a better question would be this for me, and I think others too, possibly, with let's say you start off with a basic non-NFT wallet that has a 4-3 schedule. I automate that process long term, and I built in the idea to every week one of my claims or required claims would then be redeposited on a weekly basis. Now, with that setup, putting you on the spot as a number cruncher, would you be able to tell me if that is long term, like infinite runway, like continuous runway enough to run the whole, as long as I want it with that program, without dropping dropping 1%?
One deposit per week. I don't think that would be, honestly, I would rather put that money, well, once again, do you need to put it in your pocket, or do you need to keep it back in the system to earn the 2%? I guess you'd have to ask yourself why you really want to maintain that 2% so bad. Is that because you want to compound it faster, go faster? If you want to go faster, then there's other ways to do that too. And I'd make a larger deposit up front rather than redepositing my funds, because it's gonna bring that wallet closer to that point where you just have to withdraw and you don't have to compound anymore. So yeah, I see a lot of people talking about the redeposit thing, to keep the 2%, but then you are also subject to withdrawal tax and then redeposit tax. and it may be better to bring in fresh capital if you can, or put in fresh capital into a new wallet and start growing that wallet, which will have 2% in the beginning to grow it faster as well. So that's what I would do. I honestly can't do the math in my head. It's too hard based on every scenario. I haven't run that personally. So
This is okay. That's fair. That's fair. It's just that it seems like that could be an option because you're paying 10% to claim, and then redeposit would be 10%. So it'd be 90% of 90% as far as the haircut for that circulating, because you're not going to swap the ARK for BUSD if you're
Correct.
planning on redepositing it on a weekly basis. But that's just a thought. And the reason why you want 2% is because you can compound 70% instead of 30 roughly percent per month over. So over time, it's a significant difference. So that's why.
Yeah. If you want to go, if you want to get faster, but just keeping in mind that you're going to hit those tax tiers quicker too. So it's got to be a balance. Just make sure you're withdrawing along the way, and taking those profits and making sure that you ROI, I guess is my basic message on that. As far as the redeposit strategy, I know a lot of people have used that in other protocols. It's available here too. So if that's something, because the 2% is important to keep for you to go faster and faster, then that might be a good strategy. But definitely there is a left-hand column in Kelly's calculator where you can put deposits in, and it'll automatically update your principal balance and show what the effect would have on a weekly schedule or monthly schedule or daily schedule, whatever your redeposit plan is. So yeah, you could definitely run that scenario through. Right.
I have ideas on how I would strategize. It's just that there's not so unlimited time to kind of figure things out. I'll pick your brain a little bit, but what jumps at me is what you say about if you really need the 2%. You've mentioned a couple times. I'm just curious. Is there a reason? Is there any disadvantage for doing it this way and to preserve the 2% versus another way maybe I'm missing?
No, I just think that a 1% is still a giant reward. So if you're taking profits and then paying more taxes on those to redeposit them, then when you take them back out, you're paying taxes on them as well. It just feels like a more tax intense process,
Maybe you're suggesting hit whale tax earlier. That's what you're basically saying is going to hit you sooner that way, right? That's the main thing.
You're going faster, and you're going to hit the whale taxes sooner. So if you are withdrawing, so I understand that you're not using capital from the outside to put in, and you're trying to go faster in the beginning, which I think is smart. But I would just make sure you do that early and not do it later. Don't wait until you're in the 5th tax tier and start redepositing, to try to keep the 2% alive. I wouldn't advise that, because then you're withdrawing at a higher tax, and then you're redepositing again. And then when you get that money back out, you're going to be even at a higher tax level because you've just increased your principal balance. So you're going to hit those tax tiers faster. Right. Yeah. So to me, it's a balancing act a little bit. And and that's why we try to set it up to be simple. Obviously, there's a lot of people that are going to have time and want to really focus in and sharpen their pencil and figure out, down to the ARK, what they can do to squeeze as much out as fast as they possibly can, which I think is smart and is, it's an inherent thing when you're making an investment to try to do that. For my personal situation, I'm so involved in everything that's going on here and busy. I have a family and things. I would personally just rather hit the auto allocation button, get my 1-to-1 or, run a 1.33 for a little while, let it build up a little quicker, and then switch to a 1.1, have a stable income. But that's just my situation. Yours might be different. And that's why I think for everyone, it's a personalized strategy. And if you're a team builder, there's a whole nother layer of strategies for that. And you get the NFTs involved. And now you've got, airdrops and referral rewards and all sorts of stuff going on. So yeah, it's fun. Everybody, and this is the game theory that goes into these dApps. And why everybody's going to play a little different, which is great. We don't want everybody playing the same game. We talked about today where when you purchase ARK now, it gets automatically deposited into the ARK vault. We think that's a great idea, But on the other side of that, if we forced you to sell it when you withdraw it, then we don't have opportunities for putting that ARK back into the ARK vault, or transferring it to a new wallet and starting a new wallet, or maybe taking some of it and selling it right away, but holding a little bit more for later use cases down the road as we build out the utility for it. So we didn't want to limit everything that we could possibly do and force everyone into comply to kind of a one-size-fits-all investment strategy. Everybody's going to play a little different, and that's what we need in the system from a sustainability tax standpoint as well. So when you look at the tax chart, that's there for a reason, and when people play the game differently, it helps the protocol. So.
No, great color for sure. It's not all cookie cutter for everyone, and different game theories apply. But I have ideas. I just kind of clarifying here. You just mentioned earlier, I believe, wasn't 100%. You're saying that after launch, anybody purchasing ARK will automatically have that go only into the vault, not actually in the wallet?
Correct. It will never hit a wallet. We're doing that to prevent people from buying it and taking advantage of any kind of price appreciation that might happen after launch, or to try to dump and circumvent the dump tax by different strategies people might have, that maybe there's some that we haven't even thought of yet. But we want to limit the tokens in the wild, and we want to have everybody take advantage of the daily ROI DApp and not try to speculate on the token or take tokens off the market that would prevent other people from getting into the opportunity. So we know that there's not always people out there with the best of intentions, and we just want to make sure that the people that are here get taken care of, and we deliver on a responsibility for sustainability and all the things we've been talking about. We have a liquidity controller in place. There's no sense in creating stress for that. That's undue stress from people that want to speculate on the token. It's not a trading token. It's a passive income token. And so, in order to keep the integrity of that, we feel like this purchase with a forced deposit is the best way to do that.
That's interesting and unique from my perspective, and will help reduce sell pressure for sure. And the only way you can take it out is from claims, then, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yes. So it actually plays into all of it plays into all the other mechanics really well too. And I'm glad you brought that up, because if someone did want to try to kind of accelerate their payout faster through withdrawing because they made a really big deposit and they just want to kind of take tokens out and dump them as fast as possible, they will run into those lower CWR limits, and they will get throttled by the NDV. So we have those mechanisms in place, and this third mechanism of forcing the deposit at time of purchase just adds a whole nice new layer to that. So it was pretty exciting. We had other ideas for it. We had other ideas for it, but I felt like this one just tackled a whole bunch of little things that people might try to grab tokens off the market and then dump them at a later date.
Are you with that rule that you just mentioned? Does that suggest that there could be some appreciation of the token before you engage the liquidity controller post launch?
Did I say that? No, I don't think I did.
No. Imply, because why would you? I mean, it's.
Well,
I think Sailor wants to say something. Sailor, go ahead.
Sorry.
Sailor, did you want to say something, sir?
Who?
Sailor? Oh, sorry, FL Realtor. I'm getting confused here.
Oh, no. I was looking for a sailor. I didn't know what you were talking about. Hey, no worries, man. Hey, no worries, man. I just wanted to, something kind of caught my attention. Maybe I misunderstood or what, as far as the, when you're buying the ARK. I know right now as you buy it, it comes in NFT form. After all the sales, it's going to be an individual. You'll go on to the DEX page. buy it as much as you could possibly buy, whether it be $100 or thousands worth. And then when you buy it, it automatically sets into the vault for you. Is that how I understand that?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so where would
it's only going to be available. Yeah, it's only going to be available for purchase on our swap page.
Okay, good. So all right. So where would the where would the 50% dump timing? So how would that apply to somebody then? So if you buying it, where would you have an opportunity to sell it at then? Where would that come into play?
Yeah, exactly. So if you got it transferred to another wallet, but that wallet wasn't participating in ARK,
okay.
So let's say someone wanted to take a bunch of tokens and then try to siphon them to another wallet, and for whatever reason, and then they try to sell those at a later date, then they would be subject to the dump tax if they didn't have a vault account. If they had a vault account, they would have had to have paid the 10% transfer tax, and then they would have a sell cap of 200 per day. So we're still running with the 200. Yeah, we're still running with the 200 sell cap. I don't see that changing anytime soon. But let's say that the price of ARK was $5. 200 ARK per day would be $1,000 a day. I think that's pretty nice payday. So
minus taxes. Yeah, depending on what level taxes you are, that's still good money a day for sure. On that.
So the sell tax is the same for everyone, but you're right, the withdrawal tax. But once you have it in your wallet, you can then sell up to 200 per day.
Okay, so that's the contract knows. I mean, obviously, if you buying it on the site and you depositing it into the vault, and then once you're taking it out of the vault, as whatever ratio CWR ratio you're in, it knows that you've already gone to the vault, so it's not going to hit you with the 50%. It's going to hit you with the 10% or whatever the percent is when you just want to, make some profits, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Exactly.
Some smart stuff, man. Good deal. I love it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Realtor.
Hey, man,
let's get to crypto.
Let's do it. Get it.
Scott Martian in the house. How you doing, Scott? I don't know if he's able to unmute. Is there anybody else that has a question? Very, very interesting conversation. Major alpha coming through to the investors tonight. Thank you, Brett. Doing a fantastic job here, breaking it down and explaining it. And we always appreciate NATO's questions because, look, he really wants to be able to understand this inside out. And that's just going to, help him in his investment, but also, folks here, who have questions.
Hey, Atlas, just to elaborate on that, man. I mean, that's still just like ringing in my ears right now. I'm just wrapping my head around that. I mean, that just completely controls the sell pressure and just creates sustainability by having that mechanism there. I mean, so if you're buying the ARK, the only thing you can do with that is go into the vault on that end. And that's huge. I mean, I don't know of anything else like that right now that's out there. And I mean, that's just that for these newcomers that's coming in. I mean, that just creates low risk to be having that pump and dump on. And, for the low people that's just coming in with just $100 or a low amount of money, you can see there's going to be some sustainability there because most projects, there's a beginning and an end. It's usually shorter than longer. So, it's just a good insight.
And to add to that, FL, I think another thing that's amazing about this ARK is that compounding is seen as neutral. And I think that is going to go a long way in terms of sustainability. What's up, Atlas? How's everybody doing? I had a quick question about the NDV and keeping your percentages as high as possible, and the differences when it comes to putting fresh capital into your account, via you just putting it in your wallet or through referrals. And if there's, if the referrals are weighted or if it's pretty much just like a 1-to-1 ratio, your referral matters in the same way that a singular dollar would coming into your account as if you were to deposit it.
Yeah, sure. So the referral rewards are a percentage based on the action that investor is taking. So when they're depositing funds, you're going to get a 5% reward of that, that total deposit. So if they're depositing, let's say $1 worth of ARK, or let's say it's one ARK, which is impossible, but let's say that they're I guess it is possible. Let's say they deposit one ARK, then you would get 0.05 ARK rewarded to your principal balance. Then every time, if they're dollar cost averaging or they're redepositing profits, ARK profits, back into their vault, then you would also receive that 5% reward. So it's not just a one-time reward, which is a difference from, I think, every other daily ROI DApp that's out there. So we have a very aggressive reward schedule in that regard. But then also on the compound rewards, those are done on a round robin, which I'm not going to get into all of the tiers and everything. But basically, a 5% of that compound amount then gets paid to upline members that qualify. And to have a qualifying wallet, you need to have either bond staked or a legacy NFT in order to qualify for those compound rewards. For the deposit reward, you also need to qualify, but it's only one level deep. In that those are direct referrals. When they make a deposit, then only those direct referrals would be paying that 5% to you.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that can tie into a little bit of knowledge for Neto and maybe the way he might go about things. Because I when Neto's talking about his strategy, it seems like maybe it's kind of similar to mine in a sense of keeping that ROI number as high as possible. But like you were saying, Brett, you don't want to be accruing too much taxes. So I was thinking maybe, like you were saying, if you could get a decent team that's really engaging, then that round robin would really help contribute to your NDV and keep pushing you above 1%. Am I right in thinking that way?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and that's why we've aligned those incentives for people that are just willing to put in even a little effort, just sharing it, sharing the opportunity to other people. And that's where the mobile app will come in. We've been kind of, hitting on that here and there with the AMAs. I think we went into it pretty heavily yesterday with Patrick, but that's going to be a game changer for people that aren't necessarily crypto savvy experts, but they still want to get out and share the investment with other people. And we're trying to make that as easy as possible to onboard other people, bring their money from the fiat world into the crypto world, and then make a deposit into the ARK vault. And if we can be successful at that, we will take this thing further than any other DApp project has, or DeFi DApp anyway, in the passive income space. And that's really our goal. I was talking off hours with Brad about that, and we were talking about just drip numbers. And I said, if we only get to the point of drip in terms of number of wallets and number of investors, then we failed in our mission. I think that if we don't even 10x that, then we haven't, we've hit a double, not a home run. So that's kind of where my horizon is on this project, taking it to the masses and far exceeding anything that we've seen in this space so far.
I think the white paper is going to be really helpful, and your guys' use of flowcharts. I think I tagged you in that comment, Brett, but I don't know who was doing those flowcharts, but those are very nice flowcharts, and they explain the tax structure really well. So.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Gordy did all the artwork on it, but it was, a collaboration for sure.
So great to see you again, Juan. I know you've been busy.
So busy, Atlas. It's nice to be slowing down a little bit and be able. I'm fortunate, man. He told me, yo, that private sale's selling out quick, second round. You got to get in there. If not, let me know. Other people are eager, and so big up to fortunate. So, but yeah, I'm super excited. And you guys are killing it, man. Every time I'll probably read that white paper another time to take it to 3, but it's beautiful, honestly, Atlas. I was questioning the heck out of you guys a few months back, and decided I'd take a break and focus on selling this house and stuff. But man, when I came back and I read that white paper, I'm so impressed. I'm just so impressed, sir. So congratulations, great job. Oh yeah, big time, man, big time.
You deserve it, bro. You really deserve it. Everybody here does, but I've got a special, relationship with you, and we've grown to get close. You and a lot of the community here. From phase 1 and to see you here and see you excited because you're a sophisticated, experienced, DeFi investor, and you're not somebody easy to impress. So just happy to see you back here, man, and that you're buying into what's been done and you're impressed. It means a lot. Thank you.
Hey, my pleasure, Atlas. And I'm super excited. I'm moving back to my hometown, so I'll have a lot of resources to help share this with a lot of people that I really care about. So, like you guys have been saying, I like the website where it says, landscapers, grandpas, whatever. Whoever did that that's a nice touch as well. So, on a lot of different angles, I'm just really, really excited about this.
Cool, man. And when you get some free time, hit me up on the DMs. I tell you about where I moved to a bit, and we got avocados, we've got oranges, we got all kinds of cool stuff. And I got 50 chickens that I'm feeding now, wild chickens that are, out in the space over here. And I want to share and ask you some questions about all that, because you are the resident farmer here.
That sounds amazing, Atlas. I'm always here to chop it up, my friend.
Fantastic, man. Thank you for coming.
Hey, Atlas, if there aren't any more questions, I would like to just spend a little bit more time with my parents. They were over for dinner tonight. So
absolutely, man. Thank you for coming in. Enjoy yourself, man. You've been working so hard here, and you deserve to get some family time. So go ahead and enjoy that. And we're going to be back tomorrow as well, Brett. So go and enjoy. I'm going to kick it here with the rest of the crew and answer some questions, hang out for a bit. Have a great evening, man. Thank you.
All right, you too. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. So, man, great to have Juan back. I haven't heard that voice in so long. The king of the after hours, man. He would spend a lot of time here with us in phase one, and it'd go on till like 5, 6 in the morning, U.S. time. These guys were having a great old time. And yeah, those were the days. But better days are coming, Juan.
Oh, I believe it, sir. After looking at this, I'm like, holy cow, the horizon is looking bright, my friend. Very, very bright. I'm so excited. I think you guys, honestly, two of the biggest things I'm the most excited about, I think, is your auto allocation system. I think that takes it to the next level. And then I personally think making compounding neutral is a game changer. I think you guys really thought about long-term sustainability in that one, and having to participate. You can't just huck a bundle of money in it and then just continue to compound your way to financial freedom at the expense of other people coming in. So, and I really, that was I don't know, probably not everyone in here has heard the thing, but my big thing is I came into crypto for passive income. I wasn't looking for huge, massive gains or anything like that. I have a small family farm, so passive income is what I thought sounded good to me. So that's pretty much all I've dug my head into. And I always thought, man, this compounding thing, it sounds great, but where is, in sustainability, it doesn't really mathematically make the most sense when you play it out over the long term. But because you made compounding neutral, it forces you to engage in a positive manner once you've reached that NDV. Just pure genius.
Man, wow. I love what you just said, man. You like I said, you're such a sophisticated investor, and to be able to read through that and see the advantages. Look, Juan, it's no secret. Sustainability is the name of the game. Fiat is just getting cannibalized, sitting in the bank, and people want that passive income, but they also want something that's stable on a long-term basis. There's huge gains, but you have to make it so that not just the first people, but anyone, 6 months down the line, a year and a half down the line, hears about ARK and they're like, well, this is balanced. This is secure. And it's been, around a year and a half, 2 years. I want to get in. People have grown. They've changed their lives. They've gotten away from the slave, wagery type of situation at their jobs that they hate. And everybody has their financial goals. But if we can't create a system that encompasses the fairness, a level playing field for that long term, then I think we could be doing other things in our lives. So, we really, set out to even the playing field and create things that are going to be standing the test of time, because there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of worry. They're not even talking about the crypto winter. Now it's an ice age, that's being talked about. And we just need to anchor ourselves to this project, to ARK, and just shut out all the noise. What's happening in Bitcoin? What's happening over there? We don't care. We care about our growth, our stability, the liquidity controller, maintaining a secure, stable price for all investors so that you can really calculate without the volatility and worry what's going to happen tomorrow on the chart. Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto. That liquidity controller too. My goodness, I was talking with my wife a little bit about that last night, and we were talking how, that's the other aspect of it is controlling price volatility for multiple reasons. But I think Brett touched on it a little bit. Is when you control that price volatility, you keep people from wanting to hoard their coins and then dump, and you kind of promote people to say, hey, look, man, we're not going to get these massive 250% smashers in a day and then everyone's going to be wrecking it. Instead, let's control this and have people really making sure they ROI and they get their passive return and they continue doing their thing. And if they want to open another wallet, you can open another wallet. You want to do referrals, it's the way to go. I mean, like you said, this is true DeFi, in my humble, opinion.
Thank you so much. How many times did you hear me say in phase one, gentlemen, ladies, pay yourselves, please, pay yourselves. And so many folks just didn't listen. They get the star in their eyes. They want to hyper compound. They want to be the biggest whale, and not getting that return on investment, which is the most important part in investing. Everything else is smooth sailing over and over. You heard me, remember?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Don't get the starry eyes. Don't count your aeons or eons. Just be, ROI is the key, and passive income. That's really what it's about. And I love taking the emotion out of it too. I think you touched on that the other night with Z, and you guys were having some in my opinion, that's kind of some of the other alpha. You can get into the technical alpha, or you can get into that psychological alpha and controlling the urge. Like you're saying, anyone can make some money and throw some good trades around, but to really understand when to buy in, when to take your profits, and to not be emotionally attached to your investments. I'm honestly still learning that. It's coming around maybe a year and a half that I've been in crypto, but that emotions, and we're humans, we act upon emotions. So you really got to train. It's training. That's what it is. You got to train your brain to be an investor. So people who have been investing longer have had that time to really put that repetition into their brain and understand, okay, what am I feeling, and am I feeling emotional? Am I about to make a decision based on emotions? What should I ease off of this, or what's going on? It takes a long time, and I think it's important as investors we recognize that and be really responsible of that.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Atlas
Go right ahead.
T-Drip here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
All right, great. Yeah. I wanted to add on to this conversation. I think the first time I hopped on one of these AMAs, I mentioned that people had PTSD in this space. And one of the reasons for that is the getting in early strategy that so many use, and that 1% that you mentioned earlier, Atlas, that some people literally plan their strategy to get into these pre-sales, 80% tokens in their wallet, staking 20% of them just to see what happens. And upon that first price appreciation, just dump that 80%. And that's one of the reasons why, the community just gets kind of hosed. And so I appreciate the anti-dump launch. And I wanted to mention maybe a perspective here, and then I do have a question as well, that I don't think hitting that 1% should really be seen as bad by our community. In fact, anybody know how many drip wallets are out there? 150,000 or something. I don't even remember the number, but hundreds of thousands of people that wish they hit drip on the upswing with that 1%. And if you get to the point in ARK where you've hit 1%, that means you won the ROI DApp space. You won it. You beat it. And maybe that's the time to think about starting your second wallet. And something like maybe $100 per paycheck goes into your ARK and keeps that rolling at the 2% level. So the second wallet thing leads me into my question. Actually, I'm bringing this from a member of my team who's interested in starting his second wallet. And what he did was he started a second wallet. He purchased one. He got into the public pre-sale, got 2 NFTs. The first public pre-sale he bought on that wallet, he forgot to put his referral in. And the second NFT, he remembered to put his referral in. And he's trying to figure out if his first wallet will be the holder of the second wallet, given what he did there.
Yes, it will. And if it was the first NFT was bought in the private sale, he's been randomly attached to a syndicate founder. Now, that is something that's a mistake. And if you, excuse me, pardon me. If you or him contact me directly in DMs, I have a support ticket here for technical issues, and I've put a list of a couple of folks. Like one guy referred himself by mistake, so we are manually here. The coders, in particular, are going to manually fix that situation, so he does not have to worry, and we will be able to handle that. It's not going to be today. It's going to be later. I have the list of every referral. I was able to see yesterday, who really, got a lot of referrals done. There was one team in particular, I'm not going to mention exactly who, but they had 84, which is pretty impressive. So yeah, we will absolutely handle that and take care of that. They do not need to worry. However, we do encourage, since this is manual, labor on, a very complex system. Think of a Swiss watch, with jewels and a lot of complex, moving parts and complex. We really want folks to just, when they come to contribute, to take a second to make sure that they're doing it correctly, so that later it just takes the whole, manual part out of it for the coders.
100%. But that's good news. Yeah, the way this one actually went was he started his first wallet. He got into the private pre-sale under a syndicate founder and did the referral correctly. And then for the public pre-sale round, he started a second wallet. And with that wallet, he bought 1 NFT with no referral and the second NFT. He was one of the lucky that got 2 of them. The second NFT on that wallet, he put his first wallet as the referral. And his question was whether on that second wallet, the first NFT with no referral accidentally got, randomly assigned or assigned to the Guardian wallet. Yeah,
correct. No, it would go. Right. It would go to the referral of the first one, which was the private that was done correctly. That's the eldest. That's where it will stay. But however, let's just make sure.
Yeah.
That it was done correctly, so there's just no mistakes that will be we won't be unable to fix after. So it's perfect timing. I've got that whole thing set up, and there's just a handful of folks who made a mistake at this point, and we want to keep it that way. We don't want to encourage that this is a opportunity for people to come and change teams and have any kind of that type of weird situation and drama happening. So it is only on a case by case basis, and we'll be happy to take care of it. So
well,
I look forward.
That's really, really super cool. He will be thrilled to hear this, that there's some support that can be provided. One more thing I think that sets the ARK project aside from others. And I was curious if you had a thought on my perspective there, that hitting 1% on your wallet should actually be seen as a victory, in the sense that in this space that has been volatile, and so many bad things have happened, that actually means you succeeded on that account. You succeeded on that investment. And maybe that's a good chance to start your second wallet and go for that 2%. Keep that going.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up. I look at it from a different perspective. I'm a business development person, right? And I consult for clients and banks. And I look at the logical thing that I think most folks can understand. If you have a business that is giving you profits continuously, and you have the opportunity to expand, one of the first things you have to do is to reinvest some of that profit. You need to get a bigger offer space, hire some salespeople, let's say get equipment, machinery, establish another factory or so forth. To increase your revenues, it just makes complete logical sense to reinvest. It works. You got a money printing machine in your hand that if you invest more, you'll earn more. It's just, business 101 that I think, a farmer or, let's say someone that creates an invention or has a product line and wants to expand on that or wants to get more marketing, you logically reinvest. And some folks, when they come, you're like, well, wait, I have to go out and get referrals or this or I'm like, no, you don't have to do anything. You could sit on the couch and relax. However, at some point, if you want to stay at the utmost, highest level of return of 2%, at some point, according to your calculations, you're going to have to reinvest or bring referrals or add fresh deposits. It's very logical, and I question sometimes when people don't understand that part. You want to put just one part, and you want to maintain that business running, but you won't. You don't want to pay the lights. You don't want to pay your staff. You don't want to reinvest. What do you think about that?
Oh, 100% agree. And that's why I mentioned that idea of, for smaller deposits, maybe it starts to make sense once they see things working, that $100 a check goes into their ARK vault and they really keep that growing and moving. I'm just making that number up, but there are people that are strategizing on their multi-wallet strategy and thinking through, the Kelly Snook spreadsheet and thinking through the multi-wallet strategy and wondering if their downline wallets, use their primary as a referral and how the mechanics for that work and when they should start their second or third or fourth or fifth and so on. So that thought process is happening out there for sure.
Absolutely. And I think as folks spent more time analyzing and looking under the hood, the white paper, spending time here with us and asking questions, I think they're going to slowly realize that everything's been thought of. And this is all with one intention, to make sure that you have safety, that you have long-term sustainability. We have to offer that, and we have to raise the bar. And if we can achieve that, which I really believe that we will and we can, I think there's just going to be so many folks that are going to look at ARK very, very seriously, that are going to conduct some due diligence here, and they're going to make some serious investment choices for the long term.
I could not agree more. I think if you look at the other projects in this space, ARK really has innovated on top of all of them by taking best of breed concepts and even original concepts to apply lessons learned. And so, I agree with you, Atlas. I think this is going to be very exciting, and people are really looking forward to 2023. Maybe crypto ice age will start to defrost.
Well, whatever's happening, the ARK is also an icebreaker. So, we made sure to build the hull very, very strong and have enough of a propulsion system to get through, whatever's ahead of us, whatever storm and, tropical weather, hurricanes, you name it. We're making sure that it's been thought about and that the sustainability is built into this. That's the whole purpose of us being here, and investors deserve it. they're tired of the uncertainty and, the whole gambling aspect and unrealistic, unsustainable returns that just don't add up over time if you have not, created a structure from your taxes to withdrawals to onboarding and crossing over to, the mass global market. If you can't do that, then again, you shouldn't be doing it, and you shouldn't be investing, in my opinion. If things have not really been taken to a level, and I think we've raised the bar, and I believe when you do that, there's going to be folks that will come after in the future, and they will even improve then. I mean, it's technology, innovation. Once you set a standard, it becomes, an if and a must. It has to be done. Right. So I think that's something really important.
Yeah.
And for future projects, we want to make ourselves available to let them take advantage of the work, the talent that we have here to create our liquidity controller as well as our mobile application, and give them a head start and be able to consult them and guide them in the right direction. And I think that's going to also be good for growth, because someone could be inspired and come up with something. Maybe they want to incorporate something like this into a lottery or something, with cartoon characters that people like. I mean, we have our own feel, we have our own way of doing things, but there will be innovation, and we want to help those folks as well.
Hey, Atlas. I truly believe that the ARK is certainly going to be a huge door opener, opportunity for a lot of people. I mean, I've been in this space for a couple of years and been in several different projects. So, I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I've got so much more to learn. And that's why I'm here tonight and here last night and throughout the day and other chats and groups, just trying to absorb, ask questions and learn as much as I can so I can share it with other people. And that's the one problem that I have. And it sounds like you and your team have checked all the boxes, making this thing 101 dummies for DeFi. It's with the mobile and all the different mechanics and different simplified utility that you have brought to this project is just mind blowing. So, I get so excited because I know how this space has changed my life, and and it shows when I'm out and about. People just want to know what I'm doing. I mean, I'm very successful at what I do in real estate here on the Gulf Coast. I mean, I've made great money and a lot of good living with it, but this is what I do now. I mean, I have built such a big business in real estate where I have calls and all the time for repeat business and stuff that I handle, but going out, knocking doors, calling up and, sending out flyers, that's not in my time frame anymore. I mean, this is my new life and I love it. It gives me so much time and joy to do what with my family and things. But so people really want to know what I'm doing, and I share it with them. And they're like, well, let me do it. Tell me how to do it. I try to get them involved, and and it's really tough right now having to go from A to B, like trying to get into Drip or to Furio or some of the other projects and stuff. You got to hold their hand, and once they get in, they run out of gas. Hey, what I need to do? I can't hydrate, or I can't compound, I can't harvest, I can't plant seeds, I can't do. So this is such a great tool, even with the mobile. I mean, I'm just so excited to be able to share this with people that that I kind of cringe because I want to share it with them because it's an awesome opportunity. But I don't have time to hold their hand and be available all the time for them because I've got a team and other people I'm working with. So super, man. I commend y'all, for putting together something that I think I'm gonna say the whole world, but it's just gonna involve a whole new clientele to this space with the way that you've got it. It's very professional, high end, innovative, and man, just glad to be a part of the group and team, man.
Let's get this crypto.
Let's get
Florida
crypto, man. Let's get
Absolutely.
it. Let's get it.
You get it, and man, it's puts a smile on my face to hear Juan, to hear you express. You're really understanding it. You're seeing the vision, and you're seeing it play out in front of you, and that is exciting. Also, T Drip gets it as well. I think everybody here is, and we are going to see. I mean, there's probably going to have to be a whole another wing in the future here at ARK for, I think, even institutional investors, starting first with the small business owner, that's, struggling, that is understanding, a lot of them went out of business during the COVID debacle. And, this could, replace that income potentially. And, I always say that if you do well in investing, you could take those profits and invest them into what your passion is. Maybe you like making pizzas and calzones, and you were doing that before and your business suffered. You couldn't keep the lights on. And now with this, you'll be able to come back at a better time and, maybe take your vision, even further, or change, or something you've always wanted to do that you didn't get the chance to, you didn't have the resources, or maybe you just don't want to do shit. You want to sail on the water, you want to relax. I think a lot of those folks are really, really going to find a home here on the ARK, and, going up from there, I think some serious investors, whether they're in real estate, whether, they're looking at just traditional markets and stocks, and they're also tired of the volatility and the games and the CPI and the interest rate, and they're just fed up and like, look, I just want a stable return. I want to be here. And I think there we could see some massive growth, and everybody's playing their own game. Maybe they have, millions or tens of millions, perhaps even more. That investor coming in from that level is just going to bring all of us so much more, of a comfort level of seeing what's in here, as we're all in together. So that's going to be huge. I think that's something that we'll have to expand, in the next coming months, as it gets out there and it becomes a viable thing. I see just countries, Brazil, South America, Argentina, man, these guys are getting beat up. The dollar's just strengthening so much. They have to go out into the international markets and pay with US fiat. And that is destroying them. Their economies are getting just crumbled. And, they're, unfortunately facing, serious issues where things that were just, normal toilet paper, toothpaste, that they just need to live are reaching prices that, for some, especially, those that are on minimum wages, they're really struggling. You see in Venezuela, a lot of the young folks, the young kids are playing these video games that pay you. You can win actual crypto to, if you are a good player, and they're making $70 a day, where if they had a full-time job, minimum wage is like $1.50. So they're looking for ways to survive out there, and something like ARK is an opportunity. It's a solution. It's a hope and a promise of having a stable return and growth. And I think those guys could really benefit, even if they start off very, very small, just by going to other small investors, crowdfunding to come in here and taking advantage of the referral system. And I think the crossover into that mainstream, into these emerging economies that are getting beat up, and to these third worlds that are countries that are having issues, we're probably going to be amazed at what we're going to encounter, and the testimonies of folks that are going to come in here and tell us, how they heard about us and what happened, where they are in their life. Can't wait to see that. I know it's coming. Let's get this crypto.
Is the total limit of deposits is 4K, but what if you wanted to deposit more later? Can you do that?
No, you cannot. You have to go for a fresh wallet.
Okay, so 4K is the total deposit you could deposit in any given wallet for its lifetime.
Yes, sir.
I love this guy, Nito. His wheels are always turning, man. This guy is cranking it out. He's crossing. I'm gonna follow this guy, man. He's checking every turn, every curve.
Man, he sure is. What's great about it?
Yeah.
He's picking. Brett's brain apart, and I'm sitting here taking notes. Like, you know,
I love it. I mean, that's good. I mean, the guy's digging in,
and it's me,
digging in.
and
I mean,
it's
just trying to,
and the moderators are taking notes. And listen, repetition. That's how I learned to multiply. I get in the car with my father as a young boy, and I just repeat the multiplication tables over and over and over, and he just correct me if I made a mistake. And through that repetition, I was able to memorize something for the rest of my life. And through this repetition of these questions, even if it's the same question over and over in 10 different ways, it's 10 different ways you understood. It's 10 different ways that you recalled. And I think we are all better for it as we're better prepared to understand. Sometimes I get questions in here and I ask them, can you ask it a different way? As some of the concepts are, complex, and we're all, I think, learning so much. And for those that are struggling, hey, spend more time here, listen to these podcasts. Not everybody likes to sit and read a white paper, and that's okay. Man, we're going to dumb this down to a level that a 10-year-old can understand it. And how do we get there? By just going over it, having NATO ask these questions and us, forming our own understanding. And I think a lot of folks are intimidated, to be quite honest. They're afraid to come and ask the questions. Nobody wants to sound stupid. So when you have somebody like him that's asking what I'm pretty sure, guys, everybody's mind wants to know, it is extremely important. So that's why I always, give some love and appreciation to NATO, because he's not afraid to step up.
Thanks for all the attention, guys. Just trying to learn with you, along with you.
Hey, I'm going to be having you answer the questions in about 2 weeks. I'm going to sit here and chill. You're going to answer everything. We're going to send Brent on a vacation.
Yeah, I'll be clicking while I do that too on the side. Doing all the DeFi maintenance for my wallets with the ARK.
I told you before. I don't remember which podcast. I'm like, man, NATO, I think we're going to have to hire you here because you're going to be the resident, oracle. Oh wait, there's a super complex question. Okay, hey NATO, go ahead. Because man, Brett also is going to need a break. We don't want him burning out. And he's the man with the scroll there, answering everything. And I want you guys to really get this knowledge and be able to disseminate it and help us. We got 2,000 people. I mean, add another 30,000 to that. Could you imagine the amount of volume of questions and messages coming through here? It's going to be crazy. And we've got some fantastic people here on staff, but they're going to get burnt out and overwhelmed as well. So we all have to kind of row a bit.
That's very important. I mean, I have a group called the Drip Guide, and I'm an admin there, and we've got 16 admins, and we've got close to 3,000 subscribers in there. And we've got folks all over the world. So if someone's always in there, covering answers, questions, and with this and that. So it makes a difference when you have good people that's there that can be attentive to people that's that you drove to your Telegram chat, that's asking questions, that they're spending their time in your group. They're wanting answers and questions and want that attention. So it's important to have that that help in there for sure. I know, definitely.
And realtor, Florida realtor. I think the other thing that is setting ARK apart from some others is the culture that the team is building here in this Telegram and in the groups going out, beyond that. Having the admins here, I mean, the patience of saints, answering the same questions over and over again. But if you go to the ArkFi website, it is for grandparents and everyone else. And if we're going to bring in people who may not be familiar with crypto at all or the DeFi space, we cannot have a culture that is rude and just jerks and condescending like some of the other groups out there that I won't mention. But I mean, and like you, Florida Realtor, that is really the origin of where the Drip Lounge and DeFi Lounge, not to plug my own groups, but that's really why we are there, is because people need a community to be able to answer questions, help them along in a polite, friendly, and brotherly, sisterly way. And I see that being built from the ground up here at ARK as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Amen on
Thank
that.
you. Go ahead, Florida Realtor.
Oh, I was just going to say amen to that, brother. I mean, I agree 100%. You know, it's just, it makes the world a difference. It just, you know, it just kind of the way people look at your project in a respectful way. When you got, you know, common sense, and you've got calm collective Telegram chat that you're working with, when you, instead of getting some very aggressive people in there, it just makes a big difference. People want to come in and feel welcome
Totally.
and get answers. And it makes a big difference for sure. I mean, I don't mind cutting up with people, this and that, but, you know, I mean, people are, you know, that's their time. I respect their time. If they're going to take their time out of their day to come spend and ask questions, you know, I want to respect that, you know, and not be rude and disrespectful. So, you know, it makes a big difference. And this group I see has that. It's always positive. You know, I'm in the chat group talking to Brad. He's very respectful from the day one talking to him. He's about the only one I really communicated when they're in. Brett, Atlas, you all have been positive, took time to answer questions. It's always motivational. It's not anything less than that, you know, so it's a higher standard, and that's well appreciated.
Totally agree. And we all know a Florida Realtor now. If we're going to think about an ARK meetup in a year or 2 years, I think we know the guy to talk to.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Great point you made there, T-Drip. Sorry, I was drinking some water. I enjoy when sometimes we get these conversations and dialogue going with between two or more people, because that's usually when I get a break to drink. So thank you guys for the help with that. But yeah, I like what you brought up there, grandparents, landscapers. Absolutely. There's going to be folks in here that are going to be in their diapers, you know, whether it's from young or old. And if we don't have the empathy to slow ourselves down and you know, talk at their pace and really hold their hand, we're not going to be able to grow. You know, if we can't get an Uber driver here, a guy who's just like, dude, what white paper? I'm not reading that. Like, how do I make money? Just tell me, how do I make money? Which button and how do I put this in? Look, it's, you know, down to the basics. Then again, you know, there's no purpose for us being here. There's not going to be that growth. So that's important. Another thing I've said several times, that is another, you know, important policy here, is absolutely no poaching. You know, if you don't want to explain it, but a friend of yours is interest, or your dentist, neighbor, coworker, and you know, you want them to come and just kind of do their due diligence, right? You know, who are these people? What are they about? You don't want to have that fear that someone's going to come in here and try to take them from you, you know, and take advantage of that situation, that investor. And we are being very, very strict about that. I could tell you there are accounts set up and active of people who come in here asking dumb questions, you know, in diapers. And those are proxy fake accounts, guys, to make sure if there's anybody here, you know, trying to play that game, they're going to be booted. They're not going to be, you know, on the ARK. Those guys, whoever, you know, tries to do that to any investor that comes in here, you know, take advantage of it, they're out. We have to keep it clean, and you have to verify. You have to verify that it's being kept that way. And there will be some people. I'm telling you, there will be people that will experience, you know, the cold wrath of getting kicked off. So that's important. That's important. You got to feel comfortable. We're not going to grow if this is not a clean, professional, empathetic environment where folks can be comfortable, whether you're, you know, the biggest whale, or, you know, you are somebody that can't, you know, read or write, but you want to come here and learn to invest in our protocol. You know, this has to be an exceptionally organized, professional, place. There's no questions about it. Yeah, because that's what's gonna really help us to grow. There's no doubt. That's why we're here every night. Anybody can come, ask us a question. We're not going to rush you. We're not going to, mute you. And that's where Brad's going to come into play a lot. He's going to be a coach here for folks that want to, expand on teams and, want to, really have the confidence to go out and talk to people. And everybody has those skills. So he's going to help those folks, or, somebody's really busy and they can't sign their friend up. I mean, I can't get my dad in here. I don't have the time to sit and teach him MetaMask and all that. So, we're developing also those folks that are going to be like our, hand-holding customer service that you could refer your buddy, realtor, and he's going to get in here and be taken care of. And you don't have to worry that, whoever helped him is going to take him away. So I think that's going to grow, and Brad's going to really step up. He's an incredible guy. We trust him, and he really genuinely cares about people. So bring him an old man, bring in somebody that maybe got out of jail yesterday, and they're looking for a way to sustain themselves while they look for a job or start a business, get their life back together. Hey man, we receive you too. Why not? So some folks will need more help than others, and as long as we're able to deliver, and get them set up, situated, and able to manage the investment, I think that that's another person that's been onboarded. They're on the ARK, and now they're a tool, and they're a vessel for getting other folks in here, and that's the whole point of it all. That's the main driving force, and we understand that clearly. If we are not having on a daily basis growth, no matter how great the system might be, and the taxes and sustainability and our products that we're going to sell, like if we can't be effective there and growing, then it's going to hurt sustainability. And anyone who tells you otherwise, I think, is lying. You have to be able to do that. So that's our first priority. It is the prime directive of the ARK. Growth, community, tools, and helping everybody out, and just making it simple, very simple. Let's get this crypto, guys. Brad, are you looking forward to the expansion of your role?
Certainly am. Yeah. I was on with Smackworth earlier today. He contacted me and just wanted some advice, and just to go over, really how he's going to approach this. We were talking about what CryptoZoa said. He just listened to the podcast, and getting out there. He mentioned that he lives in a low-income area, and he's what CryptoZoa referred to as a wage slave, and he wants to help some people in his community. So we just went over some strategy and just really how to approach it. And I said to him, when the DApp goes live, we'll touch base again, because it's going to be easier when you can actually physically show people. And then when the mobile app is developed, it's game over. You'll have the opportunity to sign someone every time you leave your house. That really is going to change things, guys. That's going to take this to the next level. Non-crypto people, they don't know what MetaMask is. They don't know what Crypto.com is. They don't know Binance. It's confusing. People tend to steer clear of things they don't understand, and that's just human nature. It's how we're built. And that mobile app, scan it on your phone, and you're in. Use your credit card. Game changer. Serious game changer. At that point, I'll be out of a job because you won't need me.
Oh man, you'll always be needed. Absolutely. And you're going to grow here as a leader. A lot of folks are going to grow here. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, he actually wrote me. Smackworth is a phase one investor. He spent a lot of time here with us, and really has become part of the family, without a doubt. I can recognize his voice, with my eyes closed, not looking at the telegram if I hear it. And a great gentleman. We've shared a lot of DMs. I've sent him pictures of my flowers, in my garden. He sent me pictures of his. And today he sent me a really nice message, praising the time that he spent with you, going over the investment. And he's like, man, after that conversation, I made my decision. I really made my decision. He's a serious person. He's a serious investor. And, the guy is just solid. He's really solid. So thank you for taking that time and walking him through it and helping him. He's definitely grateful, and he's on board. This guy's coming all in. So another one that we're going to see on this beautiful long path, this journey that we're setting on. We're embarking on this beautiful trip. So thank you, Brad.
Oh, no worries, man. Happy to hear. I obviously didn't know that, and I'm glad that I could help him. That's what I'm here for. And as you said, Smackworth's been here since day one. He was one of the first people that I interacted with in the community. He's a really good guy. Yeah, got a lot of time for him. But that time goes for everyone. And anybody that needs help, just shoot me a DM, and we'll jump on a call, or we'll get on VC, and however I can help any member of the community, whether it be 5 minutes or 5 hours, that is what I'm here for. So don't hesitate to contact me, guys.
Thank you so much, Brad. Wow, another fantastic day. Today we had it's a couple hours, probably maybe 2.5, 3 hours meeting between the development team and the coders. I'm usually a fly on the wall in those meetings, but I do like to be involved. And when they have a question, I'm there, and seeing the work you're doing. Today was a pretty big day on the liquidity controller, and you can see Brad. Sorry, you guys have such a similar name. I always do that. Brett came back with a tweak and upgrade to the whole system that was discussed during that meeting today, and I'm glad he came and shared it with us. And I believe it's going to be well received. Let's see, as it's updated, from my understanding already on the white paper, and maybe some of the folks that hear about this upgrade will be even more excited and more comfortable with that change. That could really make a difference and help us quite a lot. So yeah, man, it's just for me very, very fulfilling to see the guys working, and that vote of confidence through the private round and yesterday's massive interest and subscription to our first public pre-sale. It just put it like a spark in the eyes of the coding team. They heard you very loud and very clear, and they also understand that's a huge responsibility, because you folks want the ARK so bad, and it's like they have to not just complete the assignment and the vision and the work and the contracts and everything that they signed up for, but now it's like, wait, this is really, 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 really interesting. And the comments and that I received from them, and enthusiasm, they're blown away. They are blown away. They're just like, man, you guys, have this fantastic community. Because when I went and recruited them, it was just me, telling them, hey, we really need some fantastic people. There's going to be growth. We've got something that we've been working in, since February, but haven't been able to find the right folks. We can't pay you much, actually some at all, but, believe that we can get this done. If we do it correctly, they will come, they will join. And I'm going to work day and night so hard, when after the code is done and everything's up and running, and for them, their work is pretty much obtaining and maintenance and expansion into the products that we want to do. But the main core system is completed, right? That's where, really my responsibility and my work with the community and every investor in here really takes, front stage, and has to go smoothly. So, they're seeing that, it wasn't empty promises or, telling someone that something was going to be actually, viable and a success and a very important project for them to be associated with. So, that really helped a lot, because I see something special and enthusiasm in their speak, and, they're rushing more, and they're becoming even more and more kind of enthralled and in love with their work here. They see the purpose. They see how important it is for the investors. That conversation with Patrick yesterday, I think, was so powerful. It was something that made me very emotional, to see the growth and how, if folks put the work in to grow teams, they could change their lives here. And I think also the team understanding and seeing that some of them heard it, some were here. They, it touched them too. So I guess is what I'm wanting to say. So thank you for that, because it just makes the whole experience for everybody, raises the level of commitment, responsibility, and folks want to be a part of something. If you're especially if you have a job like coding, some of these guys, they just go on contract after contract after contract after contract, and it's just code. It's just boring. It's they're not really seeing a lot of what happened. And unfortunately, you have to understand that a lot of what happens isn't really, let's say, respectable. A lot of these folks that launch projects don't have the best intentions. And sometimes for them, they just have to look at it as, hey, it's a job. I'm getting paid to do something. I'm building something. I'll build a car, but if you go and rob a bank with it, or crash into somebody, run somebody over, it's not my fault. Does that make any sense?
It certainly does.
So they're kind of detached. They're these lone wolves a lot of the times. And I understand that, and it is a business and it's a money game, but the deal here wasn't, we're paying you. The deal here is you're going to come and build this with us. You're going to be a part of this team. And I need you not for a couple of weeks or months. I need you for a long, long time. And this is going to be something that you'll call home. You'll call, the ARK, the project, your home base. And we can do, a lot of great things here together. So for them, it's also, I think, reassuring. A couple of the guys, they're just, doing, the web pages, and they're tying the Web3 up with the back end and the contract and next. And a lot of times they don't even, take a look after, because it's the same old run of the mill type of situation. But it was a challenge for me to convince them, to come on board. But some way, somehow, I guess I have a way of connecting with people and establishing a relationship, and maybe they see something or understand something that's special. And now that we've put this together and we started this journey, they're seeing that there's so much more than just me and our interactions on a daily basis, but there's just fantastic community of amazing, wonderful, educated people that are hungry for, safety and sustainability for their long-term investment. Yeah, the morale is through the roof.
Yeah, you have that captivating personality, mate. People gravitate towards you. So, when you've got such a fantastic thing that you've built here, like the ARK, you've only got to get people around you to show them, and then we are where we are now. And it is all, ultimately, it's all because of you. So, hats off to you, mate. You should pat yourself on the back, because although there's a lot of people involved, doing their bits and bobs, and each part wouldn't be possible without the next, because you're not a coder yourself and whatnot. But this is your baby, and you have nursed it into what it is now, and it is massively impressive. And you're giving people this opportunity. You can you can see the stuff in the chat all the time from the community. Everyone is blown away with where we are. So well done, mate. Thank you for doing what you've done.
Thanks, man. No, it's great. Look, they're invested. I mean, these guys are not getting paid for this. They're an investor. They're being paid in team tokens. So they have skin in the game. And that's great for all of us, because the success of the project, that everything works, nothing breaks, that the quality of the work, the extra hours that are spent, and just going above and beyond, because that's a standard, going above and beyond if you want to make a quality product. If you can't fake it, you can't cut corners, you will have an inferior product. If you're not doing it at the utmost level and really dedicated. So, them seeing the response, them seeing that their work here, those tokens are going to be very valuable, and being an investor is, for them also, going to improve their lives. The motivation, inspiration for them to work and give their best, it's a no-brainer, right? So it's they were great. They're putting the work together. I mean, fantastic, brilliant, talented group. But seeing the response from the community with these pre-sales, they're just like, whoa, oh man, you weren't kidding. You were not kidding, man. Like, I told them, no, we got a great community, great folks, and I've been around for a while, and great relationships, and I just need the right team, because we can sell. We can really sell. We can really create communities. We can get people, so hyped up, and that is, I think, a part of this that is like a fine-tuned machine, and very natural and easy for me. But if we don't have a proper product that's built from scratch, and it just stands out from the rest, and goes so much further than anything else out there, then I don't care, how good you can create a community or sell. You're just bullshitting. It's vaporware. Just talk. And very frustrating. Very frustrating for the two teams that we had to go through. Extremely frustrating to have this machine that can produce, but not having the product until now. What was that, Brad?
Just going to agree with you, mate. That was all. Obviously, it's a community-driven thing, DeFi, but if you don't have the correct product, then you could have the best community on the planet, and we could all be best friends, and we could all meet up and go down the park and play football and love each other to bits. But if you don't have the right products, then it doesn't work, and vice versa as well, really, because you can have a great product and then a bad community, and then you've got another set of problems. But here at ARK, we have it. It's why it is where it is, and why it's going to be so successful, because we have every facet in place. Excuse me. We've got the fantastic team, and the coders, and the devs, and the mods, and everything else. But we also have the community. We, as admins, can only enforce so much in the chat, without having to, mute people and ban people and stuff. And that hasn't had to happen. But I'm here every day, 14 hours a day, and I haven't had to mute a single person. I haven't had to DM anyone and say, look, you can't say that. We're not doing that. It's not the way we practice things. It is, the community is really there. I mean, it's a fantastic thing to see. So we've got everything to make this hugely successful, and sky's the limit. It's very exciting. Like, I'm honestly, I'm having trouble sleeping. Like, because it's hard to sleep when you're excited. Like, we had the pre-sale yesterday, and then we jumped on a call together, and I'm not even sure how long we were on that call, but after that call, well, I was up for another hour and a half because I could not sleep. I couldn't. I was just, excitement is through the roof at the moment. It's great. Most people don't wake up and enjoy what they're doing. They don't wake up and think, yes, another day at work. I feel privileged to be in the position, where I enjoy what I do at the moment. I love being a personal trainer, and it was great, and I got that from personal training as well. But that ended at the beginning of COVID. That was 2 years ago, and I've had this void in my life because I have a need to want to help people and improve people's situations. And it used to be through their health, and now it's through improving their financial situation, and it is very, very fulfilling. And we're in the infancy. We're in the second week of pre-sales, and when this launches, it's just going to go up a level. I personally cannot wait to see where this goes, and interact with the community and help people, and hopefully what is a daily basis. And just really, really excited, and just absolutely loving what I'm doing and what's going on here at the ARK. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, man. I know you're excited, and you've had a lot of patience as we had to do the work and a lot of the coding and waiting for really to get to this point of our private and pre-sale. There was a lot of downtime. I had a crypto friend investor come here about 3 weeks ago, and it was perfect because it was the calm before the storm, and having guests over. He came with a wife and his 2 daughters. Taking them to the volcano, taking them to the water parks, taking them, around, was a good way for me to also, spend some time outside of the desk and let the guys do what they were doing, have our meetings, but, being social and just relaxing. Because if it's up to me, I think that, Brad, I'm always here, prioritizing my work. It's what I love to do. So that was really, really healthy, man. And we had a lot of conversations during that time and kept each other in the loop as it had to get built. It had to get done. And before that, there wasn't a whole lot for you and for Fortunate, S23, or even our phase 1 investors to do until this was set up. So yeah, quite the journey, man. And good to see you busy. I know you're a person that also just loves to interact and work and get things done. And it's frustrating when you don't have the opportunity because of the circumstances of the development process that had to take place. So it's like breathing life back into our community and giving him something new. And look, Juan was here. He's still here with us tonight. Expressed complete respect and understanding, and the work and what was put together here. He really likes it. So it's like
I love it.
Yeah, it's like breathing back some life into your DeFi world, into what you love, what you're here for.
Well, there's a saying, isn't there? Good things come to those who wait, and it is very true. It's like you said, we had a lot of time between phase 1 and where we are now, and I'm just glad that you took the time to put the right people in the right places, didn't rush anything, didn't buy into the pressure of getting a product that is inferior out there just because people are waiting. And everything happens for a reason, with the other teams that you had and didn't work out, the coders and stuff, and everything is falling into place. And karma exists. Karma's a real thing, and if we'd have rushed this, it wouldn't be what it is now. And you didn't, and we are all better for it. So it's just fantastic. And I remember months ago talking not just to you, but to the community in the after hours, and people really respected the fact that things were being done properly and not being rushed. And I remember, excuse me, it's a shame because he's not been around recently, but I remember Stronghand Scott saying one night, like, we've waited for 4 months. We can wait. I'd rather that we are waiting for a finely tuned product that is correct and is done properly than it just be rushed out there. And his sentiment was received with open arms because everyone feels the same way. I know a lot of you guys are new here, but a lot of the guys are the existing community from phase one, and people are happy to wait when they know things are being done correctly. There's no point rushing it and it not being what it's meant to be. And like even today with Brett changing something in the white paper, what a fantastic thing to have done. When he put that in the admin chat and I saw it, I thought, what a great idea. What a great idea. Now there's another layer of protection for all investors, and it's another gateway that's been opened, for easier access to get involved. No tokens can be dumped. There's no tokens, as he said, out in the wild. That's fantastic. And people will have innovating ideas along the way, and the fact that they're still being implemented at the stage that we're at to improve the project, to improve the process for every investor involved, it's just a fantastic thing to see and experience and really be a part of. So yeah, well done to you, to everybody involved, and we thank everyone for their patience. Well done, mate. Well done.
Hey, I'm just gonna break in, if you don't mind, real quick, fellas. I've got to take care of a few things, but it's been a pleasure spending the night with you all. I've learned a lot, and feel like I've met a few folks tonight I've never spoke with. So look forward to joining you again tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a great night, Florida Realtor.
Y'all as well. Thanks.
Good, man.
Thanks. All right, man.
Seriously though, Brad, you're not kidding, man. I remember questioning you guys so thoroughly, and sometimes you guys just couldn't give the answers, and it was like, as someone who really wanted to be able to wrap my head around it, I obviously, I love data, I love looking at stuff, I love figuring things out, but I also, like you said, I understood, and then, there were things that I interjected and stuff, like the what is it called, the auto allocator or whatever it is. That is something that I know we had talked about, Brad, and just being, the business that I have, and that when it's harvest season on the farm and stuff like that, and I'm taking things to market, how hectic it can be. And, if I forget about one day, and whether that's a compound day or a withdraw day, and what, so when I was reading that and I saw that, it was just like I saw a rainbow or something, you know what I mean? Because I hadn't been around a lot with what's going on with the house and trying to sell it, and we, with all that stuff going on. So to read that and then to find out now that Brett, made that amendment as well, it just seems like sorry about that.
You're fine, bro. You're fine.
But anyways, yes, it's important to have protection, and like you guys are amending it and changing it. And I know, being here from you guys from the beginning, that you really get in touch with the community and really engage with the community, like Atlas was saying. So, and to reach back around full circle, I really appreciate what you guys did for me, because when we first met, I had only maybe been in crypto for a few months. So you guys really helped inform me on some of those right procedures. Atlas, I had never heard someone talk so much about the greed, buy, and some of those certain things that you guys would joke around, but I understood, okay, it's a joke, but it's really not a joke, and they're saying it because it matters, and then being able to engage and converse and educate people I'm a farmer, man. Like I said, I love data and I love digging into it, but you guys were really on that level to help build people up. So anyone that does have questions, feel free to jump in here and ask these guys, because they are so humble and so nice, and willing to talk to you. So I encourage anyone.
You're so funny, man. I love you, bro. And did you sell already, or you're still in the process, Juan?
We closed the 25th, so we're under contract and everything. We had to do what is it called, a repair addendum and a couple things like that. It's a 100-year-old house, so it was a little, getting through that inspection process was a little sticky, but we're through it now, and we just got the appraisal, and then we're out of here, bro. So feeling good.
Oh man, we got to celebrate that. Oh, come on, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I was joking with my wife, and we were like, yeah, so we won't be buying 100-year-old houses anymore. Yeesh, that was rough stuff, McGruff. My goodness.
Oh man, I'm so happy for you, man. I know it's been a grueling and long process for you, and all the upgrades and fixing up and all the things that you had to do to catch that investor that would come and pick up that property and see the value of it as you have your sights set on a whole different property and bigger. I mean, you told us so much about it. Man, it's refreshing. It's really nice to hear. So the 25th, man, that's just right around the corner. Let's go, man. Woo!
Oh yeah, we're planned. We're ready. We have everything in boxes. It's feeling Rio, bro. It's so exciting.
Oh,
so exciting.
Man,
Actually get to spend the Christmas season, holiday season with the family and all that is going to be great. We've been gone for 7 years. We had kids up here and all that stuff. It's time to get closer to family. So yeah, man, thanks, Atlas. I really appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, it really, man. Wow. That's such good news. I'm going to play a button here that I never have played for anyone, but it actually fits your, goals right now.
Sell.
Yes, exactly, bro.
You understand why we never play here, but for your particular situation, never, right? We play this one, which is where what you're going to be doing very soon if you haven't done it already. So what's going on with the contract for the other farm and land? Is that you're waiting for one to close to go to the next?
Actually, we did a lot of planning and preparation for this. So we bought the land, and we have already had a well installed, and we even went through the process of getting building plans approved and a septic system and all of that. So really, we're waiting for the sale to go through, and then we'll be able to proceed with building out the farm and the house and everything like that.
So you've already purchased the place?
One second, battling a child, trying to change a diaper. Hold on.
Oh man, Juan's really special, man. I love this guy.
Yeah, really exciting times ahead, Juan. Really happy for you, dude.
Yeah, we missed him. I mean, we missed so many folks here. Miss Mark, man. Mark spent so much time. I think he's one of the people that spent the most time here with us. Like a lot of time Mark spent with us. Oh, Brett's back. Hey, buddy.
Hey, yeah, heading back home and yeah, gonna do a little work. Got some admin work for you to do. Little update to the little tweak on the white paper that we shared earlier. So yeah.
Awesome.
Had a good family dinner. It was fun.
Fantastic, man. Yeah, we've been hanging out here. It's been really nice, positive. Going over some of the old times, having Juan, from phase one, Juan the farmer. Great news, man. He's closing on the 25th. He's been trying to sell this house for some time and getting everything ready and the goats and moving on to his vision, his goals. So we just got the update. It's about to close. He's almost there. It's really happy for him, man. Really happy.
Yeah, that's huge. I saw
You guys are so kind.
in the chat and in the VC for a bit. That's good to see. He's always helpful. I appreciate your help, Deidre.
No problem, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. So what were you saying there, Alice? I can't exactly remember.
Did you already sign your, like, did you buy the other property? I know you're in love with that new place and everything, the land there. Are you waiting for, my question was, you waiting for this to close to, complete that transaction, or you've already moved, on it partially?
Yeah, so the title to the land where our future farm is going to be, we already own it. So the property is owned by us 100%. Yeah,
Fantastic.
so we're ready to rumble. We even got our well set up, and we're my wife, she's got her master's degree in engineering, so she's quite the planner. So we've got house plans, septic plans. We have a couple of different like we took some graph paper and plotted out how we're going to do it and everything like that on the farm and stuff like that. So we've got the plans ready to rumble. We just got to close this sale and get back down there.
Amazing. Hey, have you heard from Pumpty Dumpty by any chance?
I had heard from him. Maybe soonest was 2-3 months ago. I know he got a new job and was just grinding really, really hard. That's the last I heard from him. Yeah,
I heard from him after that, and we had several conversations. But I'm getting a little worried because it's been a while. It's been a while, and we've known each other for some time. And he can go a couple of weeks, off the radar. But it's now really kind of becoming, and the people that I know that know him are telling me the same thing. They haven't heard back. Last time I had a message from him was October 2nd. And it's kind of strange because he usually checks in on the project, what's going on, and very passionate about what we're doing here. And I would hate for him to get left behind. I mean, he'll always have a chance to come in later. I just was hoping to see if anybody had heard from him. I guess it's the same situation, because he would definitely contact me and say hi. Thanks for letting me know that. Let's hope he's okay, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely reach out to him, just because, the more the merrier type of thing. Maybe we can all grab his attention type of deal. But hopefully, he's in good health, and so is his family. That's the most important.
Yeah, that's my concern, that maybe something's going on. But let's stay positive, and because he did tell me he had to take care of some things, and he wouldn't be around so much. So he did let me know, but it's I mean, it was at that time he said, like a week or two, and I'll be off the radar and so forth. But it's extended to quite some time. So if I hear from him, I'll let you know. I know, man, like, dude, we've all grown so close here. So if anybody hears anything, let me know, and I'll do the same.
Juan, have you heard from Stronghand Scott? I know you were pretty close with him. I know that he had some problems. I think he got hacked, but have you heard from him?
Yeah, we talk. Yeah, he did, and I think that just kind of got him a little burnt, and he needed a break just to kind of not think about the pain from that situation. I know whenever I reach out to him, I'm very careful not to talk too much crypto or anything like that. We keep it, just trying to make sure he's doing well and stuff like that, because he did say to me that he was just like, man, that was brutal, and I need some space from that. So kind of trying to respect him in that regard. But he got cleaned out. And it's so weird, because it was when he was unstaking from a platform that's a lot of people use. So it's very, very interesting what happened to him.
No, man.
Maybe we could help him look into it, because we got an investor here that is an IT expert, working at the highest levels of, keeping stuff from being hacked, and he works with the authorities and all. And mentioned that to him, Juan, if maybe he would like some help, because we got some people and we might be doing some business with them, as security is so important, for our investors here and also for ourselves. We want to make sure that everybody's protected, that has access to funds and all of the pools and the hosting. So we got a business meeting with those guys. He's an investor here. But just one of those folks that just loves to help and really, can dig deep. And if there's something to be done about it, he's got all the experience. So let him know that, no pressure. But if he wants some help, I know Smackworth also had a similar situation a couple weeks ago. And he got cleaned out too, man. He was in some pain, and he reached out to me and it's like, hey man, I need to take a break and I'll be back. But, it was a substantial amount as well. So it really took a toll on him, but he's here with us, and I'm happy to see him on board, because we're going to work so hard for him and everybody else here to get that win. A lot of these people deserve, and they really, really need a win, guys. A lot of folks, I think an overwhelming majority of folks here, with what's gone down in the past couple of months, they need that one that's just going to change everything, man.
I reached out to him, so hopefully he reaches back out. That's very, I think he'll appreciate that. I know he was very confused in what happened.
Oh, it's really dangerous. That happened to, in my first project, there was a whale investor that was one of the nicest people I ever met, and such a wonderful gentleman. And he ended up getting hacked for about $3.5 million of the, it's called Fib Swap. And he put like 45K in, like 30K pre-launch and then like 15K after. So like a total of 45K, and that went to over 9 million. And I think in a matter of weeks. And the guy's such a diamond hander, man. He held it, and it was about $3.5 million of value when they and we actually know who did it and how, which is, probably even more painful when he went into this depression, because not only did they rob him, but the owner of the project, he was assisting him. He was working, closely with the guy, like he was with me in that project that I met him on. They thought that it was bullshit, that he was lying, and that he just dumped on them and made this, excuse. And so they ousted him, and they turned their back on him in probably the worst moment where he was, completely wiped out. That comfort level of, hey man, I got this huge win. It takes a toll, and it takes you to a dark place. And that man, he went into this dark cave of depression, and reaching out to him, wouldn't answer calls, and reaching out and trying to get a hold of him. And much later, maybe 6-7 months later, I do hear from him, and he got cancer, prostate cancer, and he had his, prostate removed. And you got to be careful when that happens. And it's great that you're staying in touch with him, Juan, because you don't want him to spiral down into that hole. It's, it could get ugly. So thank you for doing that and being a friend.
Hey man, thanks for having a community where we can all be friends. I message Brad all the time, and we chat because he's a big football fan, and so I know his team's doing well, and my team's been getting crushed. So I joke about my team getting crushed and his team doing well and stuff. Yeah, nice, dude. This is it's a great place. I love it. I can't wait to ride the ARK.
Absolutely, man. Happy days ahead. No doubt about it. Many, many happy days. So is there anybody that has a question? Maybe a comment? Please feel free to unmute your mic and come speak with us. All right, I guess we have no questions for this evening. NATO signed off, I guess. I don't see him. When you left, Brett, NATO was fairly quiet, but we did have a conversation with him about other things. And yeah, man, he seems really on board and happy.
Yeah, he's engaged for sure. I mean, he's really drilling into this thing, which is great. So it's good to see people interacting. A lot of new faces in the Telegram too. I think we've had, well, where are we now? 2,236 members. So yeah, a big uptick. It's great to see.
Yeah, I had earlier in the VC, drilling me, and I said, I love it when you come in, bro, but it's also worrying because you're going to ask some very technical, deep questions that I just might not have the answers to, and we might have to wait for the VC and ask Brett. So we went over some stuff, but yeah, I said to him, it's great that you're asking these questions because trust me, everybody wants to know the answer to these questions, but lots of people are shy or they don't want to ask because they think, oh, maybe it's a stupid question or maybe it's been asked before. I said, so, we really appreciate it when you come in and drill into this technical stuff, because there's no way that at this point everybody that listens to these knows the answer to these questions, because he's a really intelligent guy. He's an investor in our other RI projects, and he knows his stuff. So it's helpful to not only himself, the community, but also to us admins, because he's asking questions that we need to know the answers to, as we approach the launch. And yeah, he's never asked one question, like he's got 10 questions every time. So he's a good guy.
Yeah, he keeps the flow going here for sure. So good.
Absolutely. Hey, Brad, do you mind going ahead and after I do the closing statement for tonight, shutting it down for us, the recording? We'll hang out for a few minutes after. Is there any last questions before we go, or any last comments? All right, folks. Thank you for coming and joining us this evening here at the ARK Podcast number 12. Great questions. Some great conversations here as well. Great to see Juan back with us, and really excited about the project, and he's deep dive into the white paper, and he's really getting it, and he's somebody that's been with here since phase one. So happy to see him back, and just a lot of great news and updates, and man, just we're so excited. We're so happy here. So guys, thank you for coming this evening. We will see you tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 p.m. UTC. Wish you all a wonderful evening.